aka NICOLYBOO. The time is 11:02. Looks like I'm about 2 minutes late going live thanks to my MacBook moving a little slightly. But I am here for Nicolybuzz. I think this is my episode number 3. Starting to get a hang of this thing here. And one topic to discuss tonight. For anyone who is online, I would love to chat with you. Or you can drop a comment if you are listening to this later on my YouTube channel or on Facebook. I guess I'll get a couple of the details out the way. Introduce myself a little bit. I am again Nicole Lawson, aka Nicolybuzz. You can find me anywhere, almost anywhere on social media under the moniker Nicolyboo, NICOLYBOO. That is my family nickname that my grandmother gave me since the age of 2. The music that you're listening to in the background is my album title. It's called Be Free, inspirational record that you can like to positive music. You can pick that up on iTunes or on my website, NicoleLawson.com. So I am a multimedia artist and mompreneur, and simply that means artist, and I'm an entrepreneur and a mother, and I do it all pretty much simultaneously. I am passionate about using the things that I love to do, which is sing, which is act, which is model, and speak and write. Pretty much everything artistic. I love doing that, but for the purpose of encouraging people to show up, to keep showing up for life. I've got a heart for people who suffer from depression because it is something that I've learned to live with and deal with and overcome, and to show up for life in a really big way. If you want to know more about my story, I have published a part of it in a magazine called The Brilliant Awakening. You can find it on my website as well, which is NicoleLawson.com. And without further ado, let me jump right into the lessons from Wakanda. So I think I may be one of the last people across the country to see the movie Lessons from the movie, the Black Panther movie, and I loved every bit of it. I've been trying to figure out how to squeeze in time to go see it again and again and to take my children, but when it comes out on DVD, it will definitely be in the home so my kids can watch it then. So I slipped in a couple lessons from Wakanda on some of my past episodes, and today I just want to sum it all up, all 5 of those things for this show, so I can, be done with it once and for all. I've had a fun time riding the Wakanda Forever train, and I'm going to stay on it, but I want to move on to other topics. So, lessons from Wakanda. Number 1, first lesson that I think that is, let's turn this volume down. Lesson number 1, trust but verify. Trust but verify. People with a kingdom mindset, people who have wisdom, they give people the gift of their trust, but they also still make sure that they are protecting themselves and protecting their kingdom by verifying no matter who they give their trust to. You know, at the beginning of the movie we saw the King T'Challa, I believe his father, he trusted his brother with an assignment, but he still verified. And a lot of people will probably argue this, and that's fine, argue that. But what I took away from this movie and from other, things that I've seen and from other sermons and lectures that I've listened to, and that it's important to make sure that in order to have good accountability, in order to protect your kingdom from being infiltrated from the inside or the outside, although you give the gift of your trust, although you give trust to someone that has earned it, you still verify, because even your own brother is still human, and we all have our own agendas, and we all get weak, we all have our own desires, and anyone can fall prey to making the wrong decision and betraying your trust, even if they love you. It can happen. It does happen. So trust but verify. And that can be applied to all areas of life. Work, love, everything. Your kids, all that. Trust but verify. So number 2, love and loyalty is thicker than blood. This has been a very hot topic around my camp, because I think that this gets misinterpreted a lot. That does not mean that your blood and your relatives are not valid or not important. But when I'm saying that a lesson that I took from this and from life and other experiences and things that I've learned in general is that love and loyalty is thicker than blood. If you have both at the same time, consider yourself blessed. But just know that everybody that's kin to you ain't into ya. Again, because we all have our own backgrounds, our own stories, our own hurts, all that stuff. And that can get in the way. So, love and loyalty, that's number one. Sometimes all the time, you've got your family that you're born into, and then you have your family that you choose. So, I'm going to move on from that. Number 3, always accept the challenge. Both times that the king was challenged for his spot on the throne, he accepted the challenge. There's something to be said about that. I think he accepted it because he allowed himself to be tested. And every time you allow yourself to be tested for that spot that you're in, every time you allow yourself to be called to the carpet and fight for what you have, there's something that happens in that. I think that there's a new level of strength, of testicular fortitude that's that's built up in that challenge, that's built up in that fight. You always come out stronger. Always come out stronger. Even if you lose your position for that moment, you're not going to forget that loss. It's going to make you go back and scrape and scrap and fight even harder to get it back and to come back like a warrior on a whole nother level. So let me move on from that. Number 4, get buried. Be willing to get buried. Something that I thought was amazing was that that scene where the king, and then of course the other king who didn't deserve to be in that spot, but they still buried him too. They had to go underground for a moment, and of course they went to another realm and all that. But the symbolism in me in getting buried, married, is is kind of akin to what you allow yourself to be submitted to when you allow yourself to cross the burning sands, and that's just for my submission, because I have never done that yet. But also to be baptized. You are going through a process that symbolically says that you are dying to the old you, and you are arising, or you're coming back up regenerated. And when you allow yourself to be buried, you're going underground. And it's important for you to go underground and not be seen for a while in order to grow. When you get underground, there's nutrients and there's things in the soil that you can only get if you're buried. So you got to go through some dirt. You got to go through some stuff to get to where you want to be. So be willing to get buried. So the last one, my last lesson from Wakanda, my last takeaway. This is for my ladies. Single or not, and I'm trying not to get myself in trouble with this one, but I do have vision. I got some thick glasses and I've got some probably thick contacts, so there's no way I could overlook this. So I gotta say it. If he has an animal call, if he wears fur, if he has vegetarian built muscles like an ape, then good God, you better bring his behind home. Good Lord, M'Baku, Jesus, did our hearts not burn? Like, pass the collection plate right now. Will there be one? Good Lord. Yeah, that's my last lesson from Wakanda. Good God. So, that's it for the night. Definitely wanted to get this out of my system. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the points. Number 1 was trust but verify. 2 is love and loyalty is thicker than blood. Everybody that's kin to you ain't into you. Number 3 is always accept the challenge. Number 4 is get buried. Be willing to get buried. And number 5, of course, you guys know I'm just joking around, but M'Baku, that man, black man, like he epitomized the strength, all that stuff that we love about our black men, the beauty. And even it was so touching to see that he helped to preserve the life of his fellow brother, even though he lost to him. That was amazing. And just, yeah, hats off to that character. Hats off to everyone that made this movie. I'm so happy that it was on the screen. I consider it an honor to be here in this day and time where I can go and I can take my kids and they can see something that makes them aspire to be great, and they can see something and see people that look like them, and they get to say that's me. Like I didn't grow up with all that, and I'm so happy that I live in a time where my kids get to grow up with that. I'm so grateful to see that the tide is changing. We got a long way to go. We have never received our just due from everything that this country has put us through as a people, but the tide is still changing, and it's amazing to see that we are being celebrated and embraced more. Everything is not all bad. So, with that being said, it is 11:12, and I try to keep my shows 15 to 30 minutes at the most, and that is it for the night. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate all of your support. Drop a comment. Let's talk about this in the comment section on Facebook and on YouTube. And again, you can find me almost anywhere on social media under the same name, NICOLYBOO, NICOLY. And of course, visit the website, NicoleLawson.com. And you can support on Patreon if you believe in what I'm doing and want to see me keep on doing it. All right, you guys, I'm out.